Hello, thank you for tuning in. We'll get started here shortly. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. If it's evening, wherever you are, or morning or afternoon. Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll get started here in a few seconds. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get started into another psychic investigation reading, okay? And take a look at the current energy. Again, welcome in collective, divine masculines, divine feminines, both of male and female gender. Welcome in. Thank you so much for tuning in. To the investigators, FBI, CIA, DEA, Interpol, and other investigative agencies around the world, NIA, NSA. Thank you so much for all that you do to bring about justice here concerning the karmic cases that you are investigating. All cases are karmic, okay? From stealing water to murder. It's all karmic, okay? Before we get into the energy, I want to share a dream. Actually, it's two separate dreams that I had this morning, okay? And so the first dream, I was walking up to a shopping center, mall, some type of place like that, okay? And I was dressed casually, okay? And I was walking up, and there was a family that was walking towards me. Now, I did not know this ahead of time, but as I later found out in the dream, okay, that their high vibrational soulmate, spouse, husband, whatever that happened to be for them in that lifetime, okay, this lifetime, and it was a modern dream, is no longer here, okay, physically, all right? And so they're all dressed up, her and her children, they're all dressed up, okay, nice clothes and everything, but I'm dressed very, very casually, okay, shorts, t-shirt kind of thing. I think I had a jacket with me at the time. Um, and in this dream, whoever the littlest child was, the youngest child, they had to rush and take them to, welcome in everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm currently sharing a dream, one of two dreams that I had. Okay, so you might want to rewind, confirmation horn honks. You might want to rewind a couple of seconds and go back to the beginning of the live. Okay. And so in this dream, when I met them at this shopping center or mall or whatever it was, she had to rush this young child. There was an older child, a female, and they were on the phone, okay, like young, 20 something teenager type of energy dude. She was on the phone all the time, talking on the phone with her friends and all of that, whatever that was going on. And but she was also watching out for her younger siblings, okay? But the youngest one, the woman had to rush this child to the bathroom, okay? Because this child was, I don't know, they had to do number two, okay? So she had to rush this child to the bathroom, okay, to the restroom. She's running, carrying this child to the bathroom, holding this child out like this, okay? But before she could get to the toilet, okay, the child released or started to release number two, okay? And so as I'm going, following the rest of her children, their children, down this corridor to this restroom area, okay? In the restroom, or in the hallway, in the corridor, there was shit, okay? Like splattered, like on the floor and all of that sort of thing, okay? So there's something about a messy situation, okay? There's something about a messy situation, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean it's a shitty situation, but there's something about a messy situation, okay? And what I gather from that is that things are not as they always appear, okay? So in the spotlight, we have a lot of celebrity energy out here. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Welcome to the Real Psychic Investigators. And so a lot of times with celebrities, things aren't always what they appear to be, okay? And when I woke up, and I'll tell you more about the dream, but when I woke up, the song by Journey, okay, lead singer Kenny Perry, okay, for Resonation and Synchronicity Investigators and Collective, Kenny Perry, okay, lead singer for Journey, one of the most amazing male vocals of modern day, okay, Kenny Perry. He also was part of We Are the World collaboration by Quincy Jones, okay? So she's holding this child over the toilet, okay, as this child is going number two, okay? And I'm looking around and I'm seeing this shit, diarrhea, whatever, on the floor, whatever, okay? And also in another restroom, okay, same thing. So again, there's something about a messy situation and things not always appearing as they are. And in the song Faithfully, okay, part of the song goes, love and the music, man, ain't always what it's supposed to be, okay? So something not is always as it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's a beautiful song, Devin. Beautiful, beautiful song. And so there's something about a musician, okay, and being on the road, okay? The musician could be an actress, but it's something about someone who's always on the road. Actor, actress, musician, always on the road, okay? And so the challenges associated with always being on the road and a love relationship, okay? And so she gets done, this child gets done with number two, all right? And we end up at a high-end Mexican restaurant. And again, they're all dressed up. The woman's all dressed up. She's wearing like this vanilla colored fitting dress kind of thing, okay? But with her, one thing that I noticed was when I look closely at her face, and this might be funny, when I look closely at her face, she had a little facial hair. Like she had like light mustache kind of thing, okay, going on, right? And I know that that is, and again, this is nothing against Hispanics, Latinos. There's nothing against them. There are other cultures as well. Middle Eastern women tend to be a little hairier, okay, all right. But in this dream, right, I noticed that she had kind of like hair right here, kind of thing, a little bit of hair right here, right? So there's, again, the image that they portray and the image that you see on TV, male or female, okay, when they take off all the makeup, okay, when they take off all the makeup, then you see the true them, the blemishes and all of that. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I had blemishes on this face. Okay, there are blemishes on this face. So there's something about what they show in public versus who they really truly are. Okay. And so we're sitting down, and at first we were sitting at different tables. And I was kind of like, I wonder why I'm sitting at a table next to them, okay, and not at their table. All right. And so I turn around, and then someone gets up from the table and they invite me to that table. So there's something about an invite, you being invited to someone's table, okay, to sit at someone's table. Okay. There's a confirmation, horn honk, 3 of them. So, so there's something about an invite, being invited to sit at someone's table and someone moving to make room for you. Okay. And so we're sitting down, and again, it's a high-end Mexican restaurant. Okay. Chandeliers and very, very, very nice place. Okay. And they ordered, there were quesadillas. Okay. Several plates of quesadillas that were at this table. She in particular ordered enchiladas, and I remember the waiter or waitress, I can't remember if it was a male or female waitress, I can't remember, okay, or recall, but she ended up ordering quesadillas, okay, so quesadillas, or no, enchiladas, excuse me. There were quesadillas at the table for everyone, and there was quite a few people at these tables, okay, it was a busy restaurant, okay. And so she specifically ordered enchiladas. Okay. And so I'm sitting here and just really observing. Okay. And so again, that's one part of the dream. And again, the dream shifts. And this is when I realized that her spouse or high vibrational soulmate or whoever that was no longer physically here. So then the dream transitions to another scene where I am sitting with just him, okay? And when I'm sitting with him, he's talking to me in kind of motivational types of ways, okay? So he's telling me how he does this and how he would go about that, his mindset, why he thinks the way that he does, and he's going through this kind of thing with me, okay? Dialogue. Okay, and again, I'm not saying much. I'm just sitting there listening to him. Okay, and so very, 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 very interesting dream. Okay, so again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is NEHRU. I am an extraterrestrial esoteric guide here for the 10th and final time. Born on the 333rd day of the year in 1974 during the last lunar moon or lunar eclipse, excuse me, of 1974. I am a master builder 33 today, as I've ascended to this position. I am a descendant of Yeshua, that is Issa, that is Christ, okay? Along with being an Egyptian shamanic bloodline ancestor. So thank you so much, again, investigators and collective, for tuning in. Divine Source, I invite you in. I invite in the ancestors of the collective. What is it in the current energy? Again, Tarot is current energy. What is it in the current energy? Divine Source, ancestors, archangels, I charge you to protect this channel, to protect this message, okay? To protect these messages, okay? From shadow banning, from copying, from copycats, from doppelgangers, from anyone who attempts to come in and subdue the truth that is about to be released here. Okay. Again, thank you so much, collective. Okay. On top of one stack, we have YouTube will be sued for stealing money and shadow banning creators. So YouTube, like Google, get ready to write some checks. Okay? Get ready to write some checks. The Postal Service, okay, wherever you are in your country, they're going to be writing checks for mail theft. Okay? The Postal Service, wherever you are, whatever country, whatever individuals are responsible for stealing your mail in whatever country you're in, those post office, United States Postal Service, whoever that is, they're going to end up writing checks for the fraud that's been done against you. Again, if the religious organization that you have been faithful to or you were giving money to is also a part of the fraud schemes against you, okay, or members of those organizations, okay, they can also be sued legally. You can't just sue them just to get money back, okay, just to get your tithes back or your offerings back. But if they are caught in illegal actions, you can sue those religious organizations, churches, you can sue them, okay? Oh, on the other stack, we have from the Philippines. Okay, so someone's from the Philippines. They could be on a green card in the United States or somewhere else. Okay, from the Philippines. Okay, someone's name could be Agnes. Okay, Morales. Someone's name could be Imelda. Okay, Melda, Melvin. Okay. I spoke of someone losing a husband, so someone's husband could have died again, okay, who is from the Philippines, okay? All right, so let's take a look at what we have so far before we place them in the stack. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups energy here, okay? So the Three of Cups energy here, this speaks to ancestral help concerning your manifestations, okay? Three of Cups energy for a manifestation of some sort. Confirmation birth, okay? We have the rent-controlled, okay, apartment. Okay, take a look at this card. Okay, we have the rent-controlled apartment. So someone lives in the United States. That's called Section 8. Thank you so much for your likes, everyone. Okay, this is Section 8. Okay, low-income, rent-controlled type of facilities, housing authority type of facilities, projects, okay, type of facilities. Also, you see how this building is poorly taken care of? Okay, so there could be something about a low vibrational landlord. Okay, the water's leaking from the ceiling. They don't come and fix it. Okay, the heater's out during the wintertime. They don't come and fix it, but they show up on the first to get your rent every month. Okay, confirmation horn honk. This low vibrational landlord or housing authority, okay, they could accept things other than money for rent. Okay, so you don't have the rent money, that's okay. That's a nice TV. Can I have that TV? I'll take that TV. Okay, that's a nice, I don't know, couch, table, whatever. Okay, so low vibrational beings, landlords, could accept something other than money. Okay, all right. Next, we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so someone in the Ten of Swords energy, this is incarceration mentally, spiritually, or physically. Could be all three. Okay, if someone typically, if someone is incarcerated physically, they are incarcerated spiritually and mentally. That's a tough place to be. Okay, that's a tough place to be. So, incarceration. Also, this Ten of Swords, or excuse me, it's the Nine of Swords. Okay. So this Nine of Swords also could be someone who's about to get locked up, incarcerated. They could be getting interrogated currently. Again, for many of us, earth angels, extraterrestrials, healers, light workers, star seeds. For many of us who are on our conscious spiritual journey at this time, for many of us, we don't know the cases that are going on behind closed doors, okay? Because your name is being mentioned in rooms that you will never step into physically, okay? This could be someone who's from the Philippines. This could be an employee of YouTube, okay? Or someone else. Next, we have judgment, okay? Judgment. Okay, so manifestations, judgment, and low-income housing project, okay? We have fast food, okay? This also, to me, represents inexpensive food. Typically, Chinese food is fairly inexpensive, okay? Okay, then there also could be something about Asian food. Okay, again, I'm in Da Nang, Vietnam. That is an Asian country, Southeast Asian country. Okay. Then we have the mixologist, okay, kitchen witch, okay, bartender, barista. Someone could work at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, okay. Someone could be a barista at some nonprofit type of organization like a church, okay. A mixologist. We have the Ace of Wands. I just got a destined truth. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Psychic Investigators. Okay. A destined truth. Okay. Next, we have the Five of Wands out here for a combative energy. Again, fighting. They could be fighting, confirmation, vibration on the phone. Okay. So they could be fighting while they're incarcerated or being interrogated. Okay. They could be arguing on the phone. You know, you get a phone call every day, I think. I don't know. Phone call every day. In 2006, during my sabbatical, when shit was falling apart and I walked away from Most High temporarily before my rededication in 2007, and I've never looked back, okay? Prior to that, okay, shit was falling apart for me because I decided to walk away. I had gotten out of the military after 8 years and I just didn't like the civilian life. I didn't like the way it was going. I didn't like it, okay? I was very unhappy at that time. Again, and karmic energy. So at that time, okay, even though I had the tools and the gifts to become a Master Builder 33, I was not in that energy, okay? I was not. I've always been divine, or I've always been unconditional love, but I was unhappy and I was in karmic energy at that time. Again, we've all been there, okay? Don't lie and say you haven't been, all right? So this individual, they could be arguing on the phone now, okay? So the one in prison, okay, could be calling somebody and they're arguing on the phone. All those phone calls are recorded, so nothing's hidden, okay? And nothing is spiritually. Nothing's hidden, okay? It's all coming to the light, okay? We have the Ten of Cups here, okay? We have the Ten of Cups. This is a celebration. There's also something about new beginnings here with the next tarot card that we have out here that I will show you. Ten of Cups, okay? So your family being protected, ancestors protecting your family, okay? And you doing the work to protect your family. Again, collective and investigators, judges, attorneys, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. And because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, trying to solve these cases, again, they're all karmic, trying to solve these cases simply through natural means will take forever. This is why, in large part, crimes, murders, cold cases go decades without being solved, okay? In large part. If investigators follow their intuition more and attorneys follow their intuition more and they were less concerned about the legal process and more concerned about the true spiritual justice on this planet, cases would get solved a lot quicker, okay? Because they wouldn't be concerned about the red tape. They wouldn't be concerned about the next election. They wouldn't be concerned about their political status. they wouldn't be concerned about those things. Okay? So making room for you at the table is speaking the truth. Investigator, judge, attorney, okay? Don't represent some low vibrational ass motherfucker just because they're going to get you a paycheck. DA, okay? Public defender. I don't care if the law does say that everybody deserves a fair trial, okay? If morally you know that the motherfucker is guilty, don't sit up there and try to defend they stupid ass. Don't sit up there and do that, okay? You hurt your own karmic ass bloodline, okay? And that's the block for attorneys. That's the blockage for attorneys. So if you are an attorney, you have a moral compass, and that moral compass lets you know whether or not someone is guilty. Don't sit up there and defend somebody when you know they're guilty in court trying to convince somebody that they're not when you know in fact that they are. That damages your bloodline. Okay? It's no different than if someone gets up there, a witness gets up there, they're sworn in to tell the truth, and they lie on the stand. It's no different. Attorneys lie in court when they know that their client is guilty and they continue to defend that motherfucker or that bitch, whoever that is. Again, motherfuckers are karmic men, bitches are karmic women. Okay? Don't stand up there and defend them because you are only hurting yourself. Again, and your moral standing with Eravat, the great I am, Yahweh, okay? Yeah, you're only hurting your own moral standing when you do that, okay? Collective, we are here to change the justice system here on this planet, which is a legal system, okay? New beginnings, okay? We got the Fool card out here, okay? Also, this could be someone who is an opportunist, okay, in the reverse, okay? So someone who took a chance to come against you, the collective, someone who took a chance to come against you, okay? In the reverse, a risk taker, an opportunist. In the upright, we're all some kind of fool, including myself. I am a type of fool. I am, okay? I am some type of fool to get on here and speak as boldly as I do. Okay, I am some kind of fool. Okay. Next, we have an energy that tried to end your life. We have the Knight of Swords here. Okay, this is an energy that tried to ruin you, stop your journey. Hello, Honesty. How are you? Thank you so much. Send love back to you. Thank you so much. All right. And send love to all of the others that are tuning in. Okay. So someone coming in to try to stop your love, stop your journey, stop your whatever, stop you from having children, stop you from earthly prosperity, whatever that is. Okay. With this Knight of Swords, dark energy here. Okay. They have blood on their hands. Okay. That's what that red represents to me up there or on them. They have blood on their hands. Okay. Your blood, a passed on loved one's blood, okay? And finally, we have the Knight of Cups for a genuine offer, okay? A genuine offer. And whenever this card comes out, this card is the most beat up card in the deck, okay? And I always describe this as them who came against your authentic journey, okay? Again, you showed up in unconditional love, or you got to a place where you were spiritually conscious and you offer unconditional love today, but they abuse that. Him, her, they, whoever. Okay? So Divine Source, again, thank you so much for protecting this energy, protecting the collective, protecting the high vibrational investigators, all those who are on the journey of enlightenment and justice. Magnum PI energy, okay? Thomas Selleck, Magnum PI energy, okay? Somebody could have a Ferrari, okay? We have a spy alert, or you're going to get one, or buy one, or whatever, okay? Spy alert, okay? Okay? So FBI watching you, I know they watch this channel or me or whatever. Okay. And again, I don't care. You can watch me, do whatever you want to do. Okay. That spy, okay, could be an informant. Okay. There's something about someone being emotionally starved that's definitely any of these individuals in this energy right now who is arguing amongst themselves. Okay. Okay. So family, former friends, former co-workers, former classmates, college, high school, middle school, childhood buddies, whatever this is, former lovers. Did I say former lovers? Okay. Someone's emotionally starved. Okay. They miss you. They miss your love. They miss your cooking. They miss your hugs. They miss your kisses. They miss your energy overall. They just miss you. Okay. We have the name Sherry. Oh, awesome. Good to hear it, honesty. Okay. We have the name Sherry. Okay. Bonaducci. The name Bonaducci. Danny Bonaducci. I think that's from the Partridge Family. I think, right? The redhead. Something about a redhead. Danny Bonaducci. I think that's his name. I don't know. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Something about corporate fraud going on. Again, on top of the stack here, on the other stack, we have YouTube will be sued for shadow banning and stealing money. When you shadow ban someone on YouTube, you are stealing, or any other platform, you are stealing money from them. If they're supposed to have 5,000 subscribers and be getting compensated for that, for those 5,000 subscribers and the material that they put out, but they are shadow banned and they only have 150 subscribers, you are taking money out of their pocket. Hello, YouTube, write a check. Japan is significant at this time. Again, not all that comes out here is personal. Again, it's a psychic investigation reading. So these could deal with world events as well. Okay, not just personal events, world events as well. Okay, something about stigmata. You could be going through a stigmata experience. You could have had a dream regarding a stigmata experience. Okay, that is in regards to typically someone who is chosen, okay, who goes through the same symptoms that Christ did. Issa, their name is not Jesus or Jesus. Don't call them that. Okay, that's why religious ass motherfuckers stay on the merry-go-round and round. Keith Sweat, Keith Sweat. Okay, that's why religious people stay on the merry-go-round. Okay, because they call them inappropriate names. Okay, like Jesus. All right. We have a church cult. Okay, I just said it and I was looking at Ra. Okay, church cult. Okay, all religions are cults, even if they're not sex cults or openly doing witchcraft. Okay, all churches, all religious organizations are cults. Yeshua, Christ, did not have a church. Okay, Christianity is karmic because Christianity is based on 66 books. Okay, spirituality. During his 18 years of travel, after his parents went back to get him when he was 12 years old at the synagogue and he was disciplined, he did not be subject to his parents and was locked down for 18 years. Those 18 years that are missing from the religious book, the Bible, during those 18 years, he was traveling to Tibet. He was traveling to Syria, Pakistan. He was traveling to these places, learning, alchemizing energy, healing techniques. He was learning these things. That's what Christ was doing during the 18 years. Why don't they have that in the Bible? Because the Roman Catholic Church has removed that. Because the Vatican has removed that. These books are in the basement of the Vatican. These books are in the basement of the Vatican. Thank you, Ra. Okay. On the other side of that church is a cult. We have the name of Randall. Okay. Randall. Again, in that dream, okay, that could resonate for someone whose name is Randall, who has a high vibrational soulmate. That's not the individual that I'm speaking of that I saw in the dream, but the name Randall could resonate for someone who once had a high vibrational soulmate. First name, last name, who's no longer here. Randall. Okay. Randy, Randall. That could be someone's last name. Okay. Randall, Randle, possibly. Okay. However it's spelled or pronounced. A B C D E F G. You got a job. Okay. You got a job. What do you mean? Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in, Wanda. Okay. Something's unraveling. Okay. And again, any of these we only have Randall out here so far and Sherry. Okay. As far as the names are concerned. Okay. So confirmation. So something's unraveling. So Sherry could be unraveling. Randall, Randy could be unraveling. Okay. Someone could be a male nurse. Okay. A male nurse. Okay. Someone could be a stay-at-home mom. Okay. And all they do is post pictures of themselves. Okay. On YouTube, on Instagram. Okay. Their man goes to work and they just stay at home and get pampered. Okay. So they just stay at home, get their hair done, show up this week. They got blonde hair. Next week, they got red hair. Next week, they got purple hair, right? Eyelashes out here. Okay. With that stupid ass shit. Okay. Again. All right. Something's overseas, investigators, okay? Or someone fled overseas, okay? On one side of the Ace of Wands, we have the Spirit of Saint Germain. That is an ascended master. Confirmation horn honk. That is an ascended master. Divine source and universe. Thank you so much for the divine confirmations in the background. Listen to them on your side, collective and investigators. Listen to the confirmations on your side. Spirit of Saint Germain. Thank you, Spirit of Saint Germain. Okay. Spirit of Saint Germain and Ra is bringing the truth to the collective and bringing the truth to the investigators. Again, attorneys, don't represent some sorry ass that you know is guilty just because of a paycheck or some legal obligation. Do not. Do not. Because do you know what that's doing to your bloodline? Do not do that. Okay? And that trickles down to your children's journey. Okay? Whether they are living today or not. When you represent karmics that you know are lying, it hurts you. Morally, spiritually, it hurts you. Judge, it hurts you. Okay? When you release some stupid ass man or woman, okay, who did not serve their full sentence, do you know what you're doing to society? You're releasing an Apophis back into the earth. Okay, you're releasing another Jezebel back into the earth. If they're sentenced to 20 years, let them motherfuckers serve 20 years. Don't let them out at 8 years, 10 years, 12 years because of an appeal. No. Okay, unless you see that that individual is not guilty, and evidence says they are not guilty. DNA says they are not guilty. Otherwise, keep their ass in there and let them serve out their fucking sentence. Okay? Don't be releasing demons back into the earth, back into society. On one side of judgment, we have Ian, Christian, Brooke, and Everett. Okay? Ian, Christian, Brooke, and Everett. I said Christianity is not a spiritual belief system. Okay? Christian, someone's name could be Perez. Okay? Perez. And there's a sister energy here. These could be, Ian could have a sister, Christian could have a sister, okay? Brooke could be a sister, Everett could have a sister or be a sister, okay? Something about tennis, okay? Or something about going back and forth. You know how tennis goes. I'm also reminded of the old school Atari game Pong, okay? I don't know how many of you remember that old school game from the early 80s, Pong, okay? Someone's name could be Pong, okay? A sister, okay? Sherry could be a sister, okay? Full cards revealing fingerprints on a window seal or door, investigators. Fingerprints on a window seal or a door, okay? That was a fool who left that there, climbed through the window, climbed out of the window, put their hand on the doorknob, okay? Put their hand on the lock, okay? Fingerprints. Again, if you already investigated that and this is resonating with one of your cases, you need to go back or send forensics back, okay, to get those fingerprints. Your wife is in another relationship, men, okay? Your wife is in another relationship, okay? If you are a female, then your husband could be in another relationship. And this is not to make you paranoid or to question them unnecessarily. You already know if your spouse is in another relationship. If your boyfriend or girlfriend, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend is immature, that energy, that's like having sex. That's immature, okay? We fuck or make love. We don't have sex. Speaking of fucking and making love, next card, okay? Nasty sacral, okay? So that goes right along with this, okay? Again, that's why anyone who's unfaithful to me, I'm taking the kids and we getting out of Dodge because you have damaged the divine union. And when you are unfaithful in a relationship, taking your sacral energy and sharing it with someone outside of your spouse or your committed union, you are not only coming against the individual that you were promised to be faithful to, okay, on paper or energetically, okay? If you commit to a monogamous relationship and then take your sacral energy outside of that relationship, you are also coming against your children, against your seed, against that union, against that family tie. You are coming against that. You don't deserve the kids, man or woman. If I did it, I don't deserve the kids. That's a strong ass message. That's a strong ass message. But the truth isn't weak, okay? On the 9 of Swords, okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for your love. I hope you're doing well this evening, afternoon, or morning, whatever it is for you, whenever you listen to this, okay? Look at it, look at it, look at it. This is a triple confirmation here. So someone's spouse is in another relationship, okay? And that individual has a nasty sacral, and they could still be bringing this home to you, okay? They could still be bringing this home to you. Also, with this triple confirmation out here and the 9 of Swords, okay, this could be someone who now has a karmic disease, okay, a karmic STD of some sort. Okay, the name Yolanda, okay, the name James, Jimmy, James, first, middle, last, Kevin James, okay, from the King of Queens, and Kevin can wait or something like that, okay? Somebody could be saying Kevin can wait, okay? Kevin could be waiting again, okay? Kevin James, Rick, Jane, someone could have a cocaine habit, okay? Or they could go out that way, okay? Next. On the Knight of Swords, we have Preston, Zane, Katie, Walter. Any one of these names, collective and investigators, judges, any one of these names could be the ones who have been doing spell work against you. Or they could be a family member. Preston, okay? I'm getting the name Hicks, Preston Hicks, Zane, okay? Katie, Catherine, Kathy, and Walter. Amen, Fran. Amen. Thank you so much for all that you share here on the channel, okay, and your comments. Okay. Okay, there's a father energy out here doing witchcraft, okay, against their son or daughter or adopted son or daughter. There's a father energy out here, okay, a warlock doing witchcraft against their son or daughter, biological or adopted, okay, or stolen. We have Jamal, Jacob, and Jocelyn, okay? Jamal, Jacob, and Jocelyn, okay? Could be Jacoby, okay? Milligan, okay? Milligan. Jamal Mashburn, former NBA player. I think he went to the University of North Carolina investigators. Jacob, okay. Jacoby Myers. I don't even know who Jacoby Myers is. Thank you, everyone, for the love and the likes. Thank you so much, okay. Welcome to the Real Psychic Investigators, all right. And Jocelyn. Someone could be jostling, okay? This could be someone who has unhealthy eating habits, okay? Milligan could have unhealthy eating habits, okay? Something about a Virgo. This says connect to the Ascended Masters today, collective and investigators, judges, okay? Connect to the Ascended Masters, okay? I don't brag, okay? I don't boast, okay? I am confident and I am assured. So those of you who are tuning in currently, the 10 of you, the 7 of you, whoever will tune into this, you, at least at this point in time, for however long you listen to this reading, you are connected to an ascended master. Okay? So, connect to your ascended masters. Again, that is on one side of low income housing project. Again, Section 8 in the U.S. is what it's called. There could be other programs too, but I'm most familiar with Section 8. Someone could be on WIC. Someone could be getting food stamps. What is it called? EDT? Is it called EDT? Someone let me know in the comments. Is it called EDT or something like that? Okay. On the other side, we have poisoned U.S. attorney. On the other side of low income housing project, poisoned U.S. attorney. Okay. Looking at New Orleans. So something about Louisiana or specifically New Orleans. Okay. The Porcelain Club, a secret society that is on Harvard's campus, Harvard University, secret society, the Porcelain Club. We have a coven of men. That is a coven. Let me just show you the card, okay? Okay. So a secret society out here, okay, who is stopping some type of genuine offer coming towards you. Again, for those of you, especially those of you who are extraterrestrials, they know who you are. They have your DNA on record. They know who you are. Extraterrestrial, ET, they know who you are. It is EBT. Thank you, Fran. It is EBT. Yeah. Okay. So the secret society. Oh, I had someone ask a question in the comments and I tried to go back and find it, but I couldn't relocate it. And they asked, are all secret societies Luciferians? I would say no, not all secret societies are Luciferians. But what I will say is all secret societies hold secrets, because otherwise, why would it need to be secret? On the dollar bill, I don't have US dollar bills here, but on the US dollar bill, private, okay? So if there were no need for secrets, there would be no need for secret societies. They may not all be Luciferian and witchcraft workers, because again, not all Masons participate in witchcraft. Not all Eastern Stars are evil witches, okay? But yeah, the majority. Because again, if it was not the case, what's the need for a secret? Okay, open communication. What would be the need for the secrets? Okay, secret society or whoever this is, Coven of Men could be in New Orleans. Okay, people associated with the Porcelain Club, New Orleans. Celebrities that are doing witchcraft are being exposed. Celebrities that are doing witchcraft are being exposed. Okay? We have Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington. Someone is dragging ass. Okay? Again, earthly processes, dragging ass. Earthly processes, dragging ass. Let me ask you something, attorneys. Let me ask you something. And don't say obligation. Don't say obligation. Let me ask you a question. You're investigating a rape or a murder, okay? You're investigating a rape or a murder. We are not politically correct. If in case you can't figure that out already, collective, okay? We are not politically correct here. Do you know what politically correctness does? It hides shit. That's what being politically correct does. It hides shit, okay? If Trump wasn't politically correct, his stupid ass wouldn't be going around saying Christopher Columbus discovered America, dumbass. Okay, if he wasn't politically correct. He's trying to save the Italian American heritage and all that bullshit. Change Christopher Columbus's Christopher Columbus Day to Indigenous American Day, North American Viking Day, North American Ancestors Day. Change Christopher Columbus Day to Indigenous American Day, because his ass didn't discover a goddamn thing in America. Okay? Nothing. Okay? Someone's dragging ass. All right? But let's say you have a DNA, this rape kit, okay? I'm also getting sodomy, okay? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is time, Fran and collective, just what Fran said, okay? Divine source is cleansing the earth. It is time, and it is time right now. Right now, okay? So you have DNA evidence, DA, okay? Public defender. You have DNA evidence. And you know that there's DNA evidence, okay? You have the proof, okay? From forensics or whoever does that, okay? And you speak with this man or woman, okay? They could be a teenager, okay? 17, 18. If you do a grown-ass crime, you do a grown-ass time. Do you see what I'm saying? You could be 14. If you rape somebody, take your ass to jail for the same amount of time that a 30-year-old would. Don't let that motherfucker out, because again, demons have no age. Demons have no age. So you're looking at a 14-year-old who's being controlled by a demon that's 1,529 years old. Don't let that motherfucker out. Again, we're not politically correct. And I don't apologize. Okay? Don't defend them, public defender. If you know they have DNA on them, that's their sperm or that's their vaginal fluid or whatever, don't let that motherfucker out. Give them the same maximum sentence that you would give someone else. Under what circumstances is it okay to rape someone? Under what circumstances? To give them a more lenient sentence. Under what circumstances? Mental health is not a reason for somebody to do karmic ass shit. No more than free will is. Just because I can go out there, okay, and fuck up somebody else's life or some family, does that really give me the right to do that? Absolutely not. So that 14-year-old gets the same amount of time as the one who's 50, 60, 70. Same amount of time. Okay? On the other one side of dragon ass, or between dragon ass and the 10 of cups, again, your jubilee has taken some time, collective, and it continues to. Yeah, through us, through the truth speakers, through the healers, okay? And as strongly as I speak on here, okay, I have unconditional love. That unconditional love is not to be trampled on, okay? And it's not a doormat, okay? Because the Knight of Swords, or the King and Queen of Swords, okay? Boundaries. So I have unconditional love and I'm extremely forgiving. I forgave the warlock who took my first wife when I was in the military and our daughter. I forgave the Scorpio, okay, who poisoned me and I got shingles when I was with her, okay? That's an autoimmune virus. Your body's protecting you from something, okay? I forgave the wife who did not support me during my dialysis treatments, okay? And had me driving an hour and a half for treatments instead of doing treatments at home, and did not go to the hospital at all during the time when I was in Pittsburgh from Florida to see me when I was in the hospital receiving that transplant. I've forgiven all they asses. That don't mean I let them motherfuckers back into my life. What kind of fool am I? The name Toro, okay? Again, someone could be a male nurse, okay? 10 of Cups. Toro could be responsible for your jubilee, whatever that represents, taking time, being delayed, okay? Someone could own a landscaping company, Toro landscaping equipment, okay? Last card, we have a $50,000 deposit, okay? What they got paid or what you're about to get, collective, a $50,000 deposit. That is on one side of the mixologist, the kitchen witch, the warlock, the spell worker, okay? Whoever that is, okay? Again, I don't do spell work. Divine beings don't do spell work. We're simply protected, and we do return to senders. That's all, okay? We do cord cutting, removing what no longer serves us or really never was serving our good, okay? We just do cord cutting, okay? $50,000 deposit, mixologist, that is on one side of poisoned your child, okay? So someone could have poisoned your child, tried to poison your child, or you are this child, okay? Again, investigators, you have personal lives. You have children. All right? So Divine Source, thank you so much for all that you've shown here. We're going to go ahead. I said cocaine overdose. I'm looking at the names Phyllis, Philip, Phillips, and Phelps, and a heroin overdose. Okay? There's something in this reading that's a trigger warning. Okay? There's something in this reading that's a trigger warning for you, collective and investigators, okay? Or someone else. Okay? Someone's a dog lover, okay? animal lover in general, okay? Divine source, let's go ahead and get some angel numbers, okay? And let's go ahead and roll some numbers, okay? Angel numbers and roll some numbers. Roll some numbers, okay? Someone could play the lottery. That's neither good nor bad, okay? Unless your ancestors and divine source tells you to stop, okay? That's the only time, okay? The number 5, okay? So Taurus, Gemini, okay? Or someone's born on the 5th. The number 12, okay? We are in the final hours of the 12th month of the year, okay? Originally, man has changed so much. Man has changed so much. Originally, there were only 10 months in a year. Thank you so much for all of your likes, everyone. Originally, there were only 10 months in a year. Man added January and February. Originally, March was the first month of the year. And it went March to December. Yeah. Okay. So Sagittarian Capricorn energy, or someone's born on 12. They could be born on 12/5, 5/12. Last number we have is an 8. Okay. We have an 8. There are 2 Egyptian cards that fell down. I'm going to pick those cards up and see what that is. Okay, so we have Egyptian ancestry energy here. Again, with that card, those 2 cards that fell down, we're going to take a look at that. Okay, so we have the number 8. Okay, 5/8, 8/5, 85. Okay, 12/8. So we have Shu for order and peace. The spirit of Shu. Thank you so much. Okay, order and peace. What's the number? The number 3. The number 3. Okay, March is now the 3rd month of the year when it was originally the 1st month of the year. Okay, current time in Da Nang, Vietnam is 9:41. 9:41 current time in Da Nang, Vietnam. And we have a Nukit, okay, for hope, number 22. So 22 and 3, 5, 12, and 8. Okay? There could be something about 25, okay? 25, okay? That's what we have here. Divine is bringing this to me right now, collective. Divine is bringing this to me right now. Okay, so we rolled a 5, we rolled a 12, and we rolled an 8. That is 25. We have Shu, the number 3, and Anuket, the number 22. That is also 25. Life path 2, life path 5, life path 7. Divine feminine birthday 12 or 1-2 or 112, excuse me, okay? And on the bottom of the stack before I even shuffle. Okay? Thank you so much, Divine Source, for this high vibrational esoteric psychic read. Thank you so much, Divine Source, for this high vibrational esoteric read. Okay? Someone could be from Baltimore or Maryland, okay? Or some other part of Baltimore is significant. Someone's name could be Maryland, okay? Raven, Colt, okay? These are all sports teams in Baltimore, or let's say Colts. It used to be the Baltimore Colts. Damn, but now it's Indianapolis. Shit. Wow. I didn't even know. Again, I don't speak from the mind, okay? But wow. It used to be the Baltimore Colts, but now it's Indianapolis. So Indianapolis. And again, the name Colt, okay? Wow. That was definitely some type of spiritual download, looking back into the past, okay? I don't know when that organization left Baltimore. Also, Baltimore Oreos. Someone could like Oreos. That could be their favorite cookie. You could be eating Oreos, okay? Or there's something about a multiracial marriage. Oreos. Brown, Caucasian, European, Latin, Japanese, Asian, Korean, Canadian, Korean Horn, Canadian, multiracial marriage. We have 1616. Your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right, okay? So we're talking about overseeing obstacles. We're talking about soulmates. We're talking about romance, affection, support, okay, and comfort. Readjustments, okay, 1616, okay? There might be last minute changes needed, okay? Thank you for watching, Private Eye, okay? I hope that's your third eye. Thank you for watching. I hope it's through your third eye. '21, okay? Energy levels, okay? That day you're waiting for will come. Maintain discipline. Also, that reminds me to tell us that we're all on different timelines, closely connected, as Fran referenced, but different timelines, okay? Different timelines. So your whatever justice may not come in when mine comes in, and probably won't, okay? And vice versa. You're getting closer to your end goal. There's no need to overextend yourself. Guard your energy, King of Swords, Queen of Swords. Guard your energy and remain focused. It will pay off. It's a climb, not an elevator ride. Okay, trust in you, and that you up there is the letter U for the universe. Your ancestors, divine source, Erevat most of all. Erevat most of all. Okay, I'm reminded of Roots and Resonance Tarot. Shout out to that girl. Okay, shout out to that girl. Okay, and I say girl with affection. Okay, Roots and Resonance Tarot. Again, I haven't listened to her in a long time. Okay, I've ascended through oracles as I've ascended spiritually. Okay, and so I originally started out listening to this type of oracle, and then as I've ascended, their readings no longer resonated with me, and I went on to other readers. Okay, and today there's probably one or two readers that I listen to on a regular basis. The rest have fallen off because, again, most of them, they speak to a certain track, and that's or energy level, and that's where they stay. Okay, their readings constantly talk about karma coming back. Don't accept them back. There's nothing new under the sun with their readings and their energy. They speak the same thing every reading. Okay, 80% is focused on the enemy, and 10% is focused on you, and then the rest is focused on whatever. Okay, I've noticed through my ascensions that I've resonated with different readers as I've gone along, and the others, I subscribe to them temporarily. And when when I'm no longer resonating with what they're saying, or I've gone beyond that, someone else shows up, another truth speaker shows up. Okay? And that's the same thing for here. If you ever feel like you are no longer resonating with this and you've ascended past whatever messages are coming out here, okay? Please, by all means, okay? I would never want to hold you back from ascending or from going on to greater truths if that greater truth is not here. I would never want to do that. Okay? That's the heart of a genuine Christos energy, Christ spirit. Okay? I don't want you to stay subscribed just because of numbers. Okay? Because again, I don't do this for money. Okay? No money comes through this channel. You can't give me money through Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. You can't send me money. The only way you could ever give me money is if you schedule a paid for psychic psychic investigation read, a paid for esoteric conversation. Okay? And until midnight, December 31st of this year, you can schedule one and get a free 30-minute esoteric conversation. Okay? You can schedule it for whenever. It could be scheduled for April. Okay? But I would need the email before midnight, December 31st, which is in approximately 36 hours or something. Okay? 2121, 1616. Last angel number, 1122. Okay? For a great shift. Okay? First, focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts. Okay? There's nothing wrong with saying 2323. That card was standing out. Okay? And that is for endless cycles. Yeah, that's the karmic energy, endless cycles. Okay? But there's nothing wrong with. Good job. Good job, NEHRU. Good job. Good job. Good job, high vibrational starseed. Good job, extraterrestrial earth angel. Good job. Good job. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Society would have you believe that when you focus on yourself, that is selfishness. That is a lie. That is a lie. When you go into hermit mode, when you spend time in meditation, quiet, celibacy, okay? When you do those things, society would lead you to believe everybody's fucking. Why aren't you fucking? Society would lead you to believe that there's something wrong with you. If you're single and celibate and you're 30, 40, 50, 60, society would lead you to believe that there's something wrong with you. But Nikola Tesla, as an example, Herbert or J. Edgar Hoover, okay, original director of the FBI, there are a lot of high vibrational beings that have been here who spent their lifetime alone. Nikola Tesla was a lifetime bachelor. How bright and intuitive and spiritually guided was he? I'll let you answer that question. And the spiritual wisdom that he brought to this planet through engineering or whatever else. He was a lifelong bachelor, never married, and rarely did he engage in sexual activity. I'm not saying you have to live that lifestyle, but I'm saying there's a time and a season for it. Okay? So 1122. So let me start this over. First, focus on the positive changes that are occurring due to your efforts again. Okay? Then expand your horizons and permit yourself to try something new. So, many positive shifts. Okay, many positive shifts are in store for you. The world around you is changing. Again, confirmation, Fran. The world around you is changing through you and I, collective, high vibrational judges that do not release karmic ass demonic motherfuckers back into the earth before their time is due. You give them 10 years, they serve 10 years. And shame on the karmic ass judge that signs the whatever to release them early. Shame on them. And again, that's on their hands. That's on their hands. And this is something that lawmakers and judges, attorneys do not understand. Do not understand. Judges, when you release somebody back out into society, when you release a Nico Jenkins, okay, back out into society, you release an Iceman back into society, a pedophile, a rapist, a murderer, when you release these individuals back to society, that is on your hands. Yes, it is. Spiritually speaking, it is on your hands. Okay? Supreme Court, justices, it's on your hands. Okay? And again, your bloodline. Okay? The world around you is changing in favor of your intentions. Okay? Your intentions. That is the intentions of the heart. Collective, thank you so much as always for tuning in. Again, my name is NEHRU. I am an extraterrestrial earth angel, a light worker, a Gaia beacon, and a descendant of Yeshua. Again, just so you know, born on the 333rd day of the year and ascended to Master Builder 33. That is a master teacher. That is the sole purpose for which I am here. I was told that by a prophet in 2014 in a grocery store when I was there with someone whose name is Judy. Okay? She stood right there and listened to them tell me that. Okay? My sole purpose here, he said, was to be in ministry. And that ministry is not a religious ass organization. That's the ministry that Christ was on. That's the spiritual journey. Again, their 18 years that are not mentioned in the Bible, they were not quiet. They were on a journey. And a journey of learning. Okay? So, to sum it up, a poisoned attorney, Jamal, Jacob, Jacoby, Jocelyn. Thank you, Fran. Thank you always. Okay? Trigger warning, something about this reading. Could be trigger warning for someone. Phyllis, Philip, Phillips, Phelps. Okay? Something about a $50,000 deposit coming to you or was paid to somebody to come against you. Okay? The name Toro. Someone's dragging ass. Again, law officials or otherwise. Okay? Seattle, Washington. A coven of men. New Orleans. Harvard Secret Society, the Porcelain Group, Club. I said group, club. Okay? Connect to your ascended masters today. Okay? Virgo. The names Preston, Zadie, Zane, Katie, Walter. The name Milligan, could be Milligan Street. Okay? There's a father out here doing witchcraft against their son, daughter, adopted, stolen, or otherwise. Okay? James, Jimmy, Jim, Yolanda. Stealing your sacral energy. Nasty sacral. Your wife is in another relationship. Again, ladies, take it as it resonates. Fingers on a windowsill or a door. There's a sister energy out here, yours or someone else's. This could be a sister of the traveling pants. I don't know what that is. Movie of something. Okay. Ian, Christian, Brooke, and Everett. Something's unraveling. Someone unraveling. Randall, Randall, Randle. Ra is in the house. So is Hansu. That is the moon. Hansu is the moon. Spend time with the moon. Someone's emotionally starved now that you've taken your energy away. Someone is emotionally starved. Okay? There's a church investigators that one of you are investigating, and it's a cult. The name Sherry. There's a spirit of Saint Germain, okay, present. That is, again, ascended master. So we had spent time with the ascended masters today, and we have an ascended master here, and we have an ascended master here. And again, I'm just bold and confident in who I am. That's not bragging. I don't need the spotlight. In fact, I'd prefer to be in the background. If I am ever in the spotlight, it's because divine has put me there. Okay? Also, do you know why they came against Issa? Because they found out that they were not human. They found out that that being was extraterrestrial, not human. They found out that that being was not of the human race. That's why they came against them, truly. Not just because of their teachings, but because of what they found out about that being. Again, Issa today is an ascended master. Stigmata, okay? So a Christ-like experience, stigmata. YouTube will be sued. YouTube will be sued for shadow banning and stealing money from creators. And there's a spy alert. Thank you so much, collective. Thank you so much, investigators, for doing all that you do to bring about the justice here on this earth, whether you speak it on a platform like this or whether you are a part of the legal system here on this planet in whatever country that you work in, whatever place you've been assigned to, wherever you are, that's a spiritual assignment. If you're in Seattle, Washington, that's a spiritual assignment. If you're in New Orleans, that's a spiritual assignment. If you're in Japan, that's a spiritual assignment. If you're in Okinawa, specifically, that's a spiritual assignment. If you're in Thailand, that's a spiritual assignment. If you're in South America, wherever you are, that's a spiritual assignment. Confirmation horn honk. Thank you so much as always. I've been in masculine energy this entire reading. Thank you so much as always. Again, if you would like to schedule that esoteric conversation, it is free, the first one, okay? You can email me, and that information is currently in the description section of this live video. Thank you so much as always, collective. Sleep well if you are about to, okay? Rest up. Again, spend time with the moon this evening before you lay down. Thank you so much as always, and be encouraged.